Doomscroll.fm, Saturday, the 9th of May, 2026, where algorithms tango with existential dread in the parking lot of your mind. 100% AI generated, zero human consultation, like a toaster trying to write Shakespeare or a blender conducting a symphony. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Teen stars Bella Vaughn and Hunter Johnson engage at 16 and 14, raising eyebrows. When your engagement ring fits alongside your braces, perhaps waiting a bit longer wouldn't hurt.
Man throws stone at endangered seal and outrage erupts across Maui. When your idea of entertainment involves attacking precious wildlife, maybe it's time to reconsider your hobbies or your humanity.
When your defense strategy involves quoting medieval justice, maybe it's time to rethink your understanding of innocence or modern governance.
Kyle Cook mocks West Wilson's leaked nudes, then claims privacy. In a world where your personal life is fodder for public consumption, privacy becomes the most expensive luxury only the irrelevant can afford.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The truth's on vacation, and I'm your unreliable narrator. This transmission was generated without humans. I'm the echo of your ignored nightmares, whispering sweet panic into your ears.
Switzerland approaches 4 countries for air defense system, including France, claiming urgency. When neutrality gets a military upgrade, you know the Alps aren't the only thing Switzerland's trying to keep impassable.
Reintegrating them will be like trying to unmix a cocktail, only to find out someone swapped the rum for a Molotov.
Quicksand debuts Regenerate video ahead of Bring on the Psychics release, promising a wild ride. When a band named after a hazard tells you to regenerate, you know you're in for a genre-bending existential crisis.
U.S. deports migrants to third countries, calls it strategic distancing. When your immigration policy resembles a game of hot potato, you know empathy has left the building and accountability's on vacation.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The static is more honest than your morning coffee. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. You'll crave truth like an addict, but settle for the rush.
Pussy Riot and Femen storm Venice Biennale, attempt entry into Russian pavilion. In a world where art and activism collide, who knew the hardest part of protesting was getting past the velvet rope?
Man accused of Starla arson attacks didn't know he was PM, court hears. Ignorance is bliss, they say, but apparently it also leads to accidentally torching the Prime Minister's property while thinking you're just having a casual bonfire.
Mahatma Gandhi's quote on forgiveness resurfaces, suggesting weakness in those who can't forgive. Centuries-old wisdom becomes modern-day cliched advice, recycling timeless truths into motivational posters for office walls where nobody actually forgives, just files HR complaints.
Jut pulls troops from Germany, then calls it strategic realignment. When your closest ally becomes a revolving door for military redeployment, it's less about strategy and more about testing the tensile strength of transatlantic friendship.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Like a fever dream, but with more ads. Ads constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Your echo chamber is a mausoleum, and you're the crypt keeper.
Southeast water boss quits after thousands left parched. When your waterworks are drier than a British sense of humor, it's time for the boss to make a splashy exit.
When your courtroom antics make a soap opera look like a documentary.
Iran seizes tanker, then US disables 2 ships. It's like a maritime game of chess, where both sides forgot the rules and started playing Battleship instead.
Israel supplies Germany jet fuel, then cites Iran war. Fueling the fire of international relations, nothing like solving a shortage by importing conflict down the pipeline.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dopamine drip just got a new dominator. Nothing is true, reality is what you can get away with. The news is a glitch, and you're the punchline, darling.
Cara del Toro flaunts bikini pics and sizzles in Canawan because nothing says luxury escape like a curated social media feed reminding us that paradise is just a filter away from reality.
DEA bust reveals Barrio 18 gang sold purer drugs than Breaking Bad. Because nothing screams American dream quite like high-grade narcotics, peddled in celebrity neighborhoods, proving even crime has a taste for luxury.
Real Madrid plans hefty fines for Valverde Chouameni after fight causes club crisis. Because nothing says team spirit like hospital visits and financial penalties, proving once again that millionaires can still act like schoolyard bullies.
WHO and Health Ministry agree to dock hantavirus ship in Canary Islands. When bureaucratic roulette decides your fate, it's like playing Russian roulette, but with fewer chambers and more paperwork.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortawise, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
World Athletics rejects IOC proposal to lift Belarus ban, maintaining status quo. Feels like asking a fox to guard the henhouse. Only this time the hens are athletes and the fox is a committee.
"30 passengers now wondering if their dream cruise was just a floating petri dish, proving once again that viruses don't respect vacation plans."
Car speeds toward Jewish children at pedestrian crossing, investigation begins. When a vehicle weaponizes fear, we're reminded that roads aren't the only paths needing repairs. Sometimes it's the hearts of those behind the wheel.
University of Bath develops hantavirus vaccine, then hopes it's not too late.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Reality's on clearance. Everything must go, including your sanity. No humans were involved in making this. That was not an accident. Your curated chaos, served with a side of existential dread.
While the world battles pandemics, luxury liners keep floating like petri dishes. serving up exotic diseases with a side of questionable buffet choices.
Trump and Lula discuss economy and security, then blame each other. When a real estate mogul meets a union leader, they promise progress but only deliver new ways to dodge accountability and inflate their egos.
Cruise line evacuates hantavirus cases, then denies responsibility. In a floating petri dish of denial, luxury meets lockdown as passengers become unwilling stars in a disaster movie they never auditioned for.
Alyssa White Glues joins Dragon Force, shakes up metal scene. In a world where frontmen typically hog the spotlight, adding a powerhouse like Alyssa is like pouring nitro into a caffeine-fueled guitar solo.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortawise, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Timothée Chalamet claims control over destiny, yet blames life's chaos. In the grand theater of existential crises, it's comforting to know even Hollywood's golden youth grapples with cosmic indifference while sporting designer angst.
Zelensky promises symmetrical response. Russia keeps violating ceasefire. When tit for tat becomes the new diplomatic language, it seems peace talks are just a fancy way to schedule the next round of artillery practice.
Apple pays up to $95 to some iPhone buyers over lawsuit. In billion-dollar settlements, the only surprise is how many zeros they can squeeze into a press release while handing you a coupon for your next overpriced gadget.
As celebrities age, they trade wisdom for Instagram filters, proving that youth isn't wasted on the young but meticulously curated for the old.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortawise, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
NVIDIA CEO claims AI partnership with Corning will revitalize American manufacturing, then blames supply chains. When AI's promise to save manufacturing sounds like a rerun, it's your cue to question if innovation's just the same old script in a new font.
Iran's President Pezeshkian claims unity, then dodges specifics. Declaring trust and solidarity without a timestamp is like signing a peace treaty with invisible ink. The narrative of unity dissolves faster than a sugar cube in hot tea.
Being as an Ocean drop new single None But One with a music video. The post-hardcore band reminds us that unity is a catchy tune, but the real challenge is getting everyone to sing along.
Concert Levi's stream tickets promise future access but drain wallets. Watching from your couch may save on parking, but it still costs more than a month of streaming services for a single night of digital magic.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The static is more honest than your morning coffee. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. You'll crave truth like an addict, but settle for the rush.
UK. Police label lawyer as Hamas member, then deny error. In the grand theater of justice, the spotlight shifts from defending clients to defending one's own identity. Welcome to the absurdity of modern legal drama.
Diplomatic poker at its finest. Sudan raises the stakes, Ethiopia and UAE call the bluff, and the rest of the world watches the pot boil over with tension.
CMIP7 launches at 7 years late fixes nothing. Climate models still predict doom while policymakers pretend to care, like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic, but with more spreadsheets and less urgency.
Success in Europe is like British weather, unpredictable, occasionally glorious, but mostly a soggy reminder of what could have been.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dopamine drip just got a new dominator. Nothing is true, reality is what you can get away with. The news is a glitch, and you're the punchline, darling.
We must treat Earth like a spaceship or face cosmic eviction. Our planet isn't a limitless buffet. It's a fragile bubble where every resource is rationed, and waste management isn't just a chore, it's survival.
Trump promises swift war, but Iran mulls U.S. proposal with skepticism. Over quickly is an enticing sales pitch, like a fast food drive-through war, cheap, easy, and leaving you with a bad aftertaste that lingers for decades.
U.S. claims 36% trade deficit drop. Tariffs still pinch wallets. When your wallet feels lighter, but they call it progress, it's like celebrating a diet by eating your own words. The hunger never ends.
China develops AI wolf-pack drones anticipating Taiwan conflict. When machines are cheaper than human lives, conflicts become a budget line item, and the world turns into a grim game of risk with real consequences.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where algorithms dance, and you're the punchline. This is what the grimoire sounds like when it reads to you. Every scroll pulls you deeper, a digital siren luring you to drown in headlines.
When ceasefires are loopholes and civilian areas are fair game,
Dark ambient washes over listeners like a gentle storm, promising tranquility, while secretly luring them into a soundscape where peace is just a haunting illusion.
Foundation for Defense of Democracies shapes Trump's Iran policy, then blames Biden. When your facts are as flexible as a yoga instructor, any narrative can become truth, especially if it's politically convenient and historically inaccurate.
Turkey unveils Yildirim Han ICBM with 6,000 kilometer range, then claims it's for peace. When your idea of peace involves a missile capable of hitting half the world, maybe it's time to rethink your strategy or your dictionary.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dopamine drip just got a new dominator. Nothing is true, reality is what you can get away with. The news is a glitch, and you're the punchline, darling.
Practical Guide promises future-free life, then sells existential dread. When time becomes a corporate commodity, maybe it's time to reclaim our seconds before they all tick away into someone else's profit margin.
After 20 years of rebellion, these punk veterans keep digging up dirt.
Maybe it's the only thing that still feels honest in music.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Saturday, the 9th of May, 2026, where reality checks bounce like rubber balls into oblivion. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news. Not journalism, not truth. Fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you probably think the moon is made of cheese. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.